Hey y'all, welcome into this edition of Off the Front Porch, our weekly podcast exploring the Southern experience. My name is Tony Ballman, and you are with me on my travels along the back roads and the two-lane blacktops of the great American South. And out here, you know, I'm always in search of fascinating personality, places worth stopping for a visit, and special events that help define who we are as uniquely Southern, native or transplanted. And today, for the very first time in our series, we venture into North Carolina to a charming and picture postcard ready village in the Blue Ridge Mountains called Flat Rock. The town itself has been nicknamed Little Charleston of the Mountains. Now, not just because over the years the village has become a popular spot for the well-heeled of South Carolina's holy city to take holiday here, but the village of Flat Rock also has that timeless charm and beauty that echoes the global appeal of Charleston, without the ocean. With that, it's understandable that Flat Rock would enjoy a vibrant art scene, and for almost 75 years, the centerpiece of that art scene has been the world-famous Flat Rock Playhouse. And we are sitting out here outside that playhouse. It would be almost impossible to calculate how many actors over the years have trod the boards at this out-of-the-way destination in the hills of North Carolina. And as we explore today the history of the Flat Rock Playhouse, you surely will recognize some of the legendary performers who have moved around the footlights of this 500-seat space. My guest this week on Off the Front Porch, welcoming me to a place where, as a bona fide theater geek, I have been remiss in not ever visiting until right now. He is the artistic associate here at the legendary Flat Rock Playhouse, Ethan Andersen. Ethan, thank you for joining me here. And this is, to me, an odyssey of 40 years that's culminated. And I'll tell you the little personal story.
Great.
I was 17 years old, 1986, had just graduated high school. And I was at you know, the way people are at those times in their lives. I was at a crossroads.
Yeah.
I was like, what am I going to do with my life? Well, I was an actor in high school. And I said, well, am I going to go to New York City and become an actor? Just try my hands. I'm not very good. I won't be a good waiter, but maybe I'll try my hands at being an actor. And but I said, wait a second. There's a place up in North Carolina, Flat Rock. I could go up there and maybe be an actor at that place. And I was at that moment where I'm like, okay, I'm going to go up. I'm going to audition. I'm going to try to cut my teeth as an actor. 40 years have passed since that crossroads, and I am finally here.
Welcome.
Not as an actor, but as an old, gritty old journalist. But here I am, outside finally. This is for me like visiting Mecca. I mean, I've got to say, to be here at the Flat Rock Playhouse. So thank you for welcoming me here.
Thank you for being here, Tony. And you know what? It is never too late to trot our boards. We have auditions every year.
When's my next audition?
That's right, January 2027. We'll see you there.
Hey, why not?
Yeah.
You know, I'm doing this now for a living. I can take a little time off of storytelling and come up here. All right, talk to me. We did allude to it a little bit about the history of the Flat Rock Playhouse. This place, we mentioned next year will be the 75th anniversary of this location. But talk to me a little bit about the history of the Flat Rock Playhouse.
Sure.
Which is, by the way, the State Theater of North Carolina.
That's right. Thank you.
It was designated the State Theater of North Carolina. That's pretty good.
Yeah, we're proud of that. We're really proud of bringing entertainment to this entire state and this entire area. But it all started with Rob Roy Farquhar, who was our founder. He was a thespian. He was a theater maker. He was a leader. And so he assembled a troupe of actors called the Vagabond Players.
Yeah.
And for several years, they were bouncing around the area and performing various titles and plays with tents. And eventually he said, you know what, I think we need a permanent spot. We need a place to land.
I'm glad you mentioned that, because that first iteration of this Vagabond Players performed in circus tents.
That's right. That's right. That's right. In fact, our first tent was given to us by the Barnum and Bailey Circus.
Wow.
So finally they found this rock here, which, though it's gorgeous, you can see just a little bit what's left of the rock. But it is indeed a rock in the beautiful western North Carolina mountains. So they landed here, and for several seasons, it wasn't this. It was still just a tent that went up annually, and for a concentrated period of time in the summer, they did a certain number of shows, and they were quick. You know, they would put up a show, and while they were running it that one week, they were rehearsing the next show that week. So it was nonstop. One show would end, and they would open the next few days. And so it was a very concentrated period of time. And eventually, of course, they built the theater. We have expanded, and now 74 years later, we are 74 years on the Rock, the Flat Rock Playhouse. We like to think our theater does still capture some of that barn-like energy.
No question.
Yeah, so we kind of lean into that. We're proud of that. It's all wood paneled. It feels, we put professional quality theater, but we want it to feel like your hometown theater. We want you to feel at home at the Playhouse.
Well, and it does have that rustic feel. It does reflect sort of the motif of Western North Carolina.
Yeah.
But this is theater at the highest level. This is theater of the highest quality. And it's a professional theater, correct?
That's right. That's right.
So this is a place where professional actors come and they cut their teeth, or maybe they're coming down here from New York because something's not available on Broadway or Off-Broadway. So they have the opportunity to come here in this beautiful setting and do the art that they love.
I'm so glad you said that. It's true. We, two things. We are a professional theater. So yes, we do draw. Every year we go to New York and we're casting from New York markets, Chicago, Los Angeles, Atlanta, all over the country. And we are drawing top talent. Maybe someone is in between Broadway contracts.
Right.
You know, look around you. This is theater summer camp for the professionals. Our folks love being here.
I want to come to summer camp.
Exactly.
Here.
Our actors love coming here. Our audiences love coming here because, I mean, what a gorgeous day to be here right now. But this is just some of the magic that we offer. Additionally, like you said, another tenet of the Playhouse is our education program. We are technically considered the Vagabond School of the Drama. That is our official business name. And so we're very proud of that education wing. So we have a very strong apprentice program that has been going on since the start of the Flat Rock Playhouse. Every year, apprentices, sometimes they are college age, sometimes they are recently graduated, and now they are new young professionals. They come here and they are learning the craft. They are working alongside Broadway professional actors, so they're learning hands-on. They're learning about the crafts of the props. Hello, FedEx. They're learning about the crafts of how a show gets made. They're learning master classes. I came here as an apprentice. Really? Our artistic director came here as an apprentice. So it's a lineage. Our education director, we're very proud of that apprentice program and that hands-on training.
You're growing the next generation of theater professionals.
That's right.
You're growing the next generation of people who will be working on Broadway.
That's right.
Who will be working at those major theaters right there under the lights of Times Square.
That's right. We're very proud of that, and we like to call it growing our own. They come here as an apprentice, or they come here as our education courses, and then they stay, and maybe they're learning acting, and then along the way they're saying, "Oh gosh, I really enjoyed my master class in the scene shop. Maybe I should learn about scenic design." Or, "Hey, maybe I would actually love to choreograph a show." Yeah. We want to give them that opportunity as well to grow, not just on stage, but to be a well-rounded artist here.
Well, you talked about that, and over the years, a number of artists who have passed through the theater scene in Chicago, the theater scene in New York City,
that's right,
have cut their teeth right here at the Flat Rock Playhouse.
That's right. Yeah, we're proud of that.
Some of the biggest names on Broadway have been on this stage.
Yeah, and many times it's before they've made it big, which is exciting. Burt Reynolds is one.
Right.
Hal Linden was here maybe 2 years ago doing a reading of a brand new play that they did the reading here, and then I think the following summer they did it off Broadway.
Yeah.
That was The Diary of Adam and Eve, and that was a comedy. So we're proud of, like you said, we have students coming here who are wanting to cut their teeth, but we also have professionals who could have their pick of any stage they wanted, Broadway, national tours. But there's something about this place that feels quite magical. And every year we bring in actors, every show, and they come in and they are kind of swept up in the magic of this place, whether that is the quality of our productions or the beauty of this area or this community. So we're very proud of that.
This is a proving ground for a lot of new theater.
That's right.
I mean, you mentioned Adam and Eve.
Yeah.
That was a show I wanted to come up and see,
Yeah.
because it was a new piece, and but you have that all the time. You have playwrights who want to come to this theater and want to test this on a real audience before they take it to Broadway.
That's right.
Before they take it to Off-Broadway. That's going to be an incredible source of pride.
It is, and you know, new works in theater are it's certainly wonderful to produce canon pieces of theater. That's wonderful, and to do that well. But to have a new work and be a part of the conversation of new theater is very important. We are launching a licensing new works program that is, for so many years we were trying to pick new titles that were of quality, that were accessible, and there's only so many times you can go through the Disney Junior canon or the, you know, fill in the blank. So we said, hey, why don't we start writing and producing and licensing these titles that are quality. So that started with Slowpoke, which was a musical I actually wrote that was an Appalachian retelling of The Tortoise and the Hare.
Wow.
And it was a musical, and we did it big on the stage, and then we made it smaller and put it in gyms across the state. We toured it to schools. This year, in just a few months, in 2 months, we'll be doing Rumpelstiltskin, which is a brand new musical. You obviously know the story, but I'm sure you don't know the story told this way. It is told through a contemporary folk rap story of Rumpelstiltskin, where he's not just a troll, he is a member of a community that has been outcast. So it's teaching important social messages. It's giving students, our whole motto is theater for all, big and small. So that's the age of a performer, that's the resource of a theater. We want to be creating theater that anyone can be doing.
So you're saying I should go in my bottom drawer and pull out those 2 one-acts?
Yes,
and bring them
yes,
up? Okay.
Yes. We want to be building a community of new writers and new directors and new choreographers and designers. Like you said, we want to be a training ground for all of these professionals.
That's exciting. All right, take me through the process of putting together a season here at the Flat Rock Playhouse. Just this past weekend, I think, you wrapped up Rent.
Rent, that's right. That's
Which,
right.
of course, is a wildly popular musical.
Yeah.
It's still very hip.
Yeah.
It's still relevant.
Yes.
And so take me from play selection all the way through the curtain falling on the last production.
Okay. The most important thing I would want you and your listeners to know is that we are a producing theater. What that means is, unlike a theater that brings in national tours, Broadway across America, or where those shows are perhaps rehearsed in New York, designed in New York, and then they get put on a truck and they're driven around and they show up on a Tuesday, and by Thursday they have a weekend of shows, and then they move on to the next city. What we do is every decision that we make, whether that is casting, show selection, design, every decision is made in-house for this theater, for this specific production.
Yeah.
So we're very proud of that. So everything's done on property. Show selection starts with actually surveying our audience.
Oh, yeah.
It's not enough for us to choose our favorite titles that we would like to do. We want to be doing titles and shows that are exciting for the people of this community. So we put out a survey every few years, and we want to know, okay, based on this list of plays, based on this list of musicals, concerts, what would you vote as your top 10? We get those results and we weigh them very seriously. So then we are choosing a season based on those results. Also, we want to make sure there is something for everyone in this season. So we start our season with concerts, a concert series called Music on the Rock.
Yeah.
And we want to make sure there's a rock concert, maybe there's a folk concert, maybe there is disco, perhaps there's your favorite band, Fleetwood Mac or Neil Diamond. We want to make sure out of 4 or 5 titles, you have at least one thing that you would be super jazzed to come see. And those shows are really like a concert. They're really not a theatrical program, clap. We want you to have a beer. We want you to be enjoying the show, singing along, dancing in the back. We want that to feel like a concert atmosphere. So that's the start of our year. Then the bulk of our season are plays and musicals. Plays, of course, are comedies. We are just on Friday about to open Neil Simon's The Odd Couple. One of the best written comedies. It's 60 years old. I just saw the designer run on Friday and I was still laughing out loud. No part of it feels like it's 60 years old. It feels so funny and relevant, and this group of actors. So comedies, murder mysteries. Last year we did Agatha Christie's Murder on the Orient Express, one of the top murder mysteries that can be. So we're dramas. We've done The Girl on the Train, which is like a thriller. So those are our plays. Musicals, we are wanting to do blockbuster musicals. You just mentioned we did Rent. It was the 30th anniversary this year of Rent. We did Footloose earlier this summer. We are going to be producing Sister Act later this fall. So these are all titles. You may know the musical, but you certainly know the movie. You grew up with these titles. And then we end the year with Flat Rock Playhouse Christmas, which this is our 10th year doing. It's turned into a community tradition. People bring their whole families to. We have professional actors on stage, but we also have our community Flat Rock Playhouse Chorus, which is made of members of our community singing. We have Pat School of Dance, which is a local dance school. They are our Flat Rockettes, we like to call them. So it's a community Christmas card that we end our season with. And again,
those are very commercial. When you talk about Rent, you talk about Sister Act and Odd Couple, very commercial selections for your season. Is there still a place here at the Flat Rock Playhouse for kind of the experimental stuff?
Oh yeah, I mean so two things here. Though they are very commercial and known titles, it is our goal in terms of the design, in terms of what the show looks and sounds and feels like, to feel fresh and feel new. We are not interested in putting the movie on stage. We are not interested in putting what was exactly on Broadway on stage. Rent is a perfect example. That's a show that for many years was sort of a carbon copy of that original Broadway show.
From set design and everything else.
A costume, the looks. And when we were designing it and our designers, it was very important for us to make that feel fresh. Certainly we're not trying to do something too crazy, but we want it to feel completely new, and we want to give our designers and artists leeway to create a new design. But yes, we are always looking to do something different. Like our New Works program is a perfect example of that. Those are titles, yes, they are fairy tales, but they're brand new works. So they're not going to be commercial, well-known blockbusters. So we're always trying to strategically have enough titles that you know and are comfortable with, and to kind of excite you on something that, hey, maybe I don't know what this is, but I know the Playhouse, I know the caliber of work they do. Let me go check it out.
You mentioned that, yes, it's experimental in parts. It's very commercial. You craft the season. Take me through the production of, take our listeners through what a typical, from the time, say, Rent just closed, to Odd Couple starting next week.
That's right.
That's got to be a fairly quick, in terms of tech, getting everything ready for that.
So that is quick. The planning is what takes 6 months before you see it on opening night. We are talking about 6 months before we are beginning design conversations. We are casting the show. We are meeting every 2 or 3 weeks. All of our designers are cross-collaborating. So that is what takes the longest amount of time. And that is something that the audience, of course, never sees. And it is actually our goal for them to sit in a seat and not think about any of those decisions. We don't want you to be thinking about, oh, wow, I wonder why they painted it this way. We want it to just be a totally visceral experience.
You know that's not going to happen if I ever said so.
Well, yeah, you're a theater person.
I mean, I'm a theater person. So I'm going to be sitting out there going, oh, man, what did he do?
Well, we appreciate those audience members, too. But yes, the rehearsal process. So our actors arrive about 2.5 weeks before we open a show.
Okay.
They know they've been cast. They have the script, so they've probably done some memorization, some work, maybe some research. But they're coming in fresh, and then they have about a week and a half in what we call the rehearsal room, and that is a room with all of the props, but no set, just tape markings on the floor, where they are blocking and figuring out, okay, how are we going to do this bit? What is our staging here? What's the choreography? Let me learn our harmonies, things like that. While that is happening, perhaps the previous title is still running or just closing, and our entire design and production team are striking that set. They've been building the set in a scene shop, and now they're loading it in. They're focusing lights, they're loading in sound equipment, they are repainting, they've painted it in the scene shop, but certainly once you get it on stage, things have to be touched up. Props is moving things in and doing set decorations, things that you would never necessarily notice, but the whole visual experience. So that's all happening at the same time. And then this week is what we call Tech Week. Yeah. So this is when all of the magic happens all at once. So our designers have been collaborating themselves. Except for
actors. That's when right. The Xanax consumption goes up.
It's long hours. It can be stressful. You've got that opening night looming. You know you have to be ready by that time. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I've been there, done that.
But it's magical too. Like when things start happening, and as an actor, maybe you've been in the room, and until you get that costume on your body, or that light look, or you hear the orchestra, it just all starts to click. So that's what this week is. We basically move into the stage on Saturday, and you have Saturday through Thursday to tech the show, which is basically going look to look, setting light cues, setting sound. Costumes is making sure everything is looking and feeling good. Props, all of the departments are working on top of each other, and then we run it maybe 2 or 3 times, and then it's opening night.
As an actor and as somebody who's been around theater for a while, my natural instinct is I just want to scrap this whole project and go in and play.
Yeah,
I want put me on the team. Yeah. I want to come in and I want to be a part of Tech Week.
Yes,
because that's, for an actor, for somebody who is a theater person, this really is, pardon the sports metaphor, crunch time.
Oh yeah,
this is when the magic happens.
It's true. Yeah, and yeah, like you said, it is sort of, it's an amazing process to observe. It can be a stressful process. It can be, like you said, time crunch. But when the light look happens right at the same sound cue, and the orchestra is following that cue, when it all hits, that's what we want.
Kismet, baby.
And I'm glad most of our audiences probably aren't aware of the amount of logistics and planning and timing that go into it. Our stage manager is learning all of these different cues, and they are the ones calling all of these cues to make sure it happens perfectly so that an audience member is just experiencing it. But it all takes so much planning.
You talked of the different aspects of how a show comes together.
Yeah.
This really is a theater campus, isn't it?
Oh, yes.
I mean, I see actors walking around.
That's right.
Coming out of...
That's right.
We have actors living on campus here.
That's right. We have actors and designers and technicians. So we are not only bringing in folks from New York as performers, but we're bringing in our designers, our artisans. They're all here. Yeah. So
they live in a commune or a communal relationship for the run of a show.
Yeah.
You're building an incredible team.
This is what I mean by it being theater summer camp. And I don't say that to diminish the professional caliber of what we're doing.
That doesn't diminish it. But it makes it all the more exciting.
It is, there is fire pits. It is a campus feel. It is a community. Our folks are on property, and we love that. It's nice having everyone here to make the magic.
And how many of these folks who come here and are a part of this, you think, perceive the history of the Flat Rock Playhouse?
Yeah,
I mean, is it part of the culture? I mean, know that you're walking into a place where, if you went back to the season of 1987, which was the season I wanted to be an actor, I mean, but you've got somebody who starred on Broadway, who cut their teeth in that building.
I think so. We're proud of our reputation as an arts organization regionally, but also nationally. We are regarded as a regional theater of caliber and of like you said, attracting certain talent. So yeah, our history is very important to us. Like I said, we have designers and staff members and community members who have been a part of the Flat Rock Playhouse for multiple decades. And so that is important to us, the legacy of passing down experiences and history to the new folks who arrive every season.
I'm going to take issue with one thing you said.
Okay, yeah, hit me.
It is not a regional theater of distinction. This is a global theater of
Hey,
distinction.
I love that.
I mean, this is a place. I have been in New York City with friends of mine who have worked on Off-Broadway and things like that, and I said, "Have you ever worked at Flat Rock?" And they go, "No, but I want to."
Yeah.
I mean, that really is.
This
is a global center for theater right here in the little village of Flat Rock in western North Carolina.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm proud of that, and I know we all are proud of that. Every year, Lisa, our artistic director, and we go to New York City and audition, and we spend 2 weeks there. And every year, we are overwhelmed by the talent and the numbers of people who want to be a part of our season, and that's a very humbling and gratifying thing. That we only have a certain number of roles and artisans and technicians who can be a part of our season. Thank you.
It's exciting, and you know, as I look around this, right across the street is the Carl Sandburg home.
That's right.
It's a National Historic Site that celebrates the poet. You have the Flat Rock Playhouse here, which, as you mentioned, Burt Reynolds got his start here as an actor. And then you've had the likes of Hal Linden, Ed Asner.
That's right.
I mean, you've had major actors who have trod the boards here at the Flat Rock Playhouse. Tony Ballman will be one next season. And,
That's right. That's
I
right.
don't know.
That's right.
But nonetheless, it's exciting to be here, and the feel when I pulled into Flat Rock, knowing that this was my first stop in this region, first ever stop in this region, first ever time visiting the Flat Rock Playhouse. I felt like I was among my tribe.
Wow.
That I was here with people who love the arts, who appreciate the arts, who appreciate literature, theater, music, and natural beauty. This, for anybody who has ever considered a weekend trip, an artsy weekend trip, you're going to pack up your artsiest gear, you're going to pack up your nerdness like I have packed up mine, and you're going to come here anywhere. Forget catching that flight to New York City. Bring yourself to Flat Rock, North Carolina.
I'm so glad you said that, because this is the perfect weekend getaway. Look at this. It's gorgeous.
It is.
And yes, we put on amazing shows, and I want you to be in our audience to see them. But we are one of many things this region and this area can offer. There's gorgeous nature, waterfalls, Hendersonville, Flat Rock, Asheville. You can make a whole weekend out of it.
As I said in my introduction, I truly believe that the Flat Rock Playhouse is the centerpiece of the arts scene in western North Carolina. Forget that, in North Carolina, period.
Hey, we are the State Theater, so I'll take it.
Flat Rock Playhouse is the absolute centerpiece of the arts scene in North Carolina.
Thank you, Tony. I agree. I'm proud of it.
Ethan Anderson, thank you so very much for welcoming me here. I really have felt like not ripping my shirt off like Matt Damon, but I do feel like I'm at the end of my odyssey. I have come here. I've gotten past the sirens. I've gotten past everything. I'm Matt. I might take my shirt off.
That's right.
But anyway, no, I'm not going to do that to everybody standing or watching. But thank you.
I'm glad you're here. I hate that it's taken you so long, but now don't be a stranger.
No question.
I want to see you in our audience, and I want to see you on our stage. And thank you for being here.
Well, it is an absolute privilege for me to be here.
Yeah.
And I just want to encourage everybody, check out, how can they find out more information on the Flat Rock Playhouse and what you offer?
Absolutely. Your best spot is flatrockplayhouse.org. That is our website, of course. It's one-stop shop. We can show you the shows, what you can do in the area, what's coming up. We have social media that you can follow us on. flatrockplayhouse.org is where you can find us.
That's where I got my information. All right, that's going to do it for this edition of Off the Front Porch. I want to encourage you, follow us on Facebook. Check out the video edition of this. You'll see the Playhouse itself on the video edition on our YouTube channel. Follow us on Instagram and Pinterest. And all right, I got to go be nerdy, but check us out next time. Our next episode, we're doing a 3-part series up here in Western North Carolina. Our next episode, we're going to take you barefoot, and I'll explain that next time on Off the Front Porch.